and until say ya what ade fatal color yi so ye fine and you as a Vogue no Ghana ye designer kese ba ko a wo Ghana pam ne mapa so wo Europe so wo US so wo UK obepam edi abrel nsa no efe pa wa wonitua nti so open tete yenso se so opese o ye fashion designer na fashion illustrator uko kuno ye sisuansa no adwuma bi fabra kwaze ho kosua de pam ebeboa apprenticeship program no misremo mo fa zel enhim na ontete mabu no mo pam ade da ho a na ehome Ghana he ya enwo mfiem otwe enu wakoso a abo adwuma nti yemwa Ghana adwuma na intimating obefrɛ no 0244 155 266 0244 155 266 the mama nails and beauty and the administrator you be na me sana ma enya ansem ketwa if you say yes my share we na koso ache enti ene yae yesro sisem and am say yes madam mercy sem rita and was sisem ma na she straight and ma she mani age ho enimu na sesa also say mami na ne de wo ye de na mafo ye me kasa me obada dan krofo si jai na unyi empacho manyi me obada dan kasa me dwan si aprese enam te hasa eje officials sa wo ye young pap say una wo me se manyi u problem ni say esi aprese enam te hasa ro zidos and beauty say ye name for de ni bi ti ma she name for nwi ni bi na ma kamfo na ma pacho we ASP to say me we obada that to say me ana lawyer mitwi we oba mono o ti say unwi bia open benya na no kra de kala do bia me ko hu ye no me say da ko mehye bi colors na fe pa into the cozinos and beauty keke na kobo wani akohuma na be hu sampa enwi pakasa good hair rattles or was sphincters kotobabi eco bank echi ho ape obetumi follow no TikTok Zenails and Beauty aka the hair mama obefriend 055 3837 201 me da boafo no ase afei mame encam for tag Traders Advocacy Group Ghana if we say wonom akwakoje abasobodie ewo America mino emu enyasem ketwa say tag wins award at the US Select 24 Business Summit na New Mexico governor and Odessa award ba ya wo say Traders Advocacy Group Ghana tag mi PSC kodwa moaten ene nana poku protocol officer ene hwan dwelimo won omo bo adwuma adwadifo a wonu mo data adwadifo akrachefo no ebia ene tag omo bo adwuma se enti tag fo me mamuti enkwa monkoso a na mommo adwuma sa na mo sente so no da ba ni ebehu ya and Makawi. Afei Mamina touching the lives of Girls Foundation International as say Omone Her Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei to Officer Kabum ya World Menstrual Hygiene Day 23rd May this Friday ICGC Christ Temple East Auditorium 9:30 sharp omo edi so touching the lives of Girls Foundation and inti ebehie school for nkwada mayowa na eni omo abonkomo kama na ya hye wo mu nkomo wie nso ani akyede yas be mo diapers vitamin be mo vitamin bigo eni ade na wo mu de akyeche akasa fo be ba ase ni bi Her Royal Highness Lady Julia will say to afi Her Royal Highness na Opranye afi the second Tekochuru Queen Mother afi Miss Joyce Aye that Reverend Minister, the respected humble Reverend Minister Dr. John Kebo Somchen Gaini ewo Akwetia St. Dominic Hospital Honorable Dorcas Afotofi MP for Jomro Mrs. Christelle Dowuna Owu Christian Life Coach Theophilia Esther Labi head of Transformation Opportunity International Savings and Loans afei mame yakunama TV personality Anita Ekwe Kufo and your TV personality enti eya brebi why na special guest of honor Honorable Dr. Agnes Momolate, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. We na founder Touching the Lives of Girls Foundation nana ma educhumwa na esine so and it's 23rd May Friday 9:30 a.m. sharp bra ICGC Christ Temple East war teshi na yene nkwada no yensua de emmom yeda wo mo ase enne enkomo ben ene wo ho enkomo de ebi wo ho ye beka immigration fo ana montu yi omotu ebi akekam nti enkranhye ben de he na aka ye beka yo se immigration we say ye moya de na emum ebi akam afa ye te kromfotachi amwa bi ono nso watu nkrofo ani wo nkran ha pa ena afa wakohye togu no wo mache no Ghana posi ache no na se posi be ya chiwe wa ha ya chiwe wa ebi se afa de posi wo bo adwuma pa o ana kane no mo bote na na ye ntie nti eno nso enura director of CID Mami Lydia Donko ena ede etu dwa eno nso ebedi ho nkomodum so no ye hawo na minister Friday no mene no minimpu via Zoom no kan se dum so bia eni ho na nso manfo se hwere iso doso nti de hin na wo ho de hin na eni ho onka me hu asem ba ko san ka ye ne se ministry department ni agencies obi abehya se atua ne nka ne aka in fact universities ni na cross om betua ba bi om tua no ye lecture halls ne de Ministry of Finance betua ne direct na emom mo restaurant ne cafeterias ne ade ne de omo betua na etimi aboa ye beka ahead of the media budget good news e wo ho mampani mahama good news ne ye de hin sidi ya ho den ye si o factors bebre wom fundamentals na strengthened and still that so ye weak ebi say a US dollar ne sha say nya ho den ye ni bedi e bebede no na say yi Trump ne yi China ne Russia no mo keka mo ntemasem nti yenhwe ne yenka enfam free ho ni nyina yebedi ho enkomo ye wi Dr. Baumia e wo Cambridge Business Forum na se dia tudwa se momo ne die asesa amanfo abrabo asesa chese kane wo mo ane wo mo fasika sika krabia afi no obekotena bank bia mani tua no ene banks yi nyina asesa won de otia no otie odi ebusome so ne etua ka ya apade ekwohwe se mo hu bank kro line tin na ja omo teles ni si esuro kakra betwen oto asesa ebrebi rasko pasma me wo wanchi se me ko yi ni sika me dwa ai nti me ko university me se sa bank we se no kwa na wo campus a me miem account wo campus na me tisi krom Kingsway e wo Cape Coast na me konya baby na miem account no nti se de na ni nyina ye nkofo ahomte ze wo bank se ebre ni adaje na de momo ni baaye no aye kama momo ni Dr. Baumia opfini so wo gitum wo kamfo ne kama pa na mom edru tax na asem no de me kan no manya asem no but eno so de rent to me mfi your penya your where should be your bond nti momo no eye abeboa ye ma no piawe na abedwafo nso be ma ne sen guest Honorable Rachel the champion bia is otum ko hyema no waba yese budget ninti no waba no media budget ya mu enye February ya na mode ba March April May afi mo shate ka media budget chese wo besiesie wa mama fe Bernard Mona ozi kokufu awabe ene case na critical na ya support special aid to Chief Alan Chemating and Kamal Mai na so ye hwese Kamal beba Kamala Dean Abdullah ye Deputy National Communications Director NPP and obi ani ha ye betete no na ya oni akase wan fe ya nkota dia
honorable na me hu na che
papa bi
me hu na che
me akura me hu na che baba no ene omo bo jingle na me am si nti honorable regional champion no ho wa kwahye bia ni mu ana o dware wo bia yi mu ana wo yi na mo bia yi
obe de yi na mo bia yi mu de bia ya yi
bia na hono poto bia so ahono
to me can the other side.
Okay.
But if you bono bana odra around the south to me who say garamsi activities no any and now. But when we say the whole of western north and western region, be some Kwane district garamsi activity ni ho.
Oh, sir.
No.
Any mahim for ni mumpenyin for ni wa.
No, you can't try it. I know the me choose here.
Okay. Nti mo de galamsey activity
not a
back
single galamsey activity.
The other side.
We so no free bro in the between ho.
Na do so see enye galabia wo.
No ayi bro na no ho no eba otra kasapen ho. U ba chiremasu
amasu. Okay, we ya ni. Ana chama masu so omutu gala. Omutu gala. Hey.
Almost sen or we between my back as bia. Ufu house na wodru me ho.
Okay.
But the whole western of in the western region, that's the constituency.
Why that's a good one.
Galamsey na esika. Omunya start you can't stop it. Nti momon start to cry.
Okay.
Onya de sako hu sika wi a. It's difficult to stop.
I say we didn't know Dr. Charles.
Yes.
Every bisa Arafat be kan so no so ne constituency ho. Oh me refi ohinene din or your doctor susubibi o se bibi ono so ordinary si from Eastern region. Nti e ho no so ye ntu gala ho.
Nti me na from no de na say okay be prospecting 2024 year be to be come manfo bi lances pressure the terms omo kokromo
o ti omo for mo perspective so
the point is once you give an opportunity for anybody to do prospecting you are opening the floor.
No so who good no
okaya unse no
mo so me prospecting 10 years no e prospecting
Kakun National Park omo tro sa letter bi come Minerals Commission so person omo kohwe Minerals Commission mo kwan omo kohwe say gold or what. I made a statement. I say once you allow them to go and check whether or not gold or and no one on any income more licenses
I see.
You just don't have to allow it.
Yeah,
he's done a very good job.
Yeah, that's a waba no pace. And I don't say that's a chief on here. Mama party on here.
My party they say we're banana crummy
or help.
And yeah, chairman. They need you cry. I have a cry.
Hey. Mama party eni je me hono so problem ma.
Just a problem ma.
Hey.
Go yes an attention e free me so.
Mama party mati ukunu keto yo be hadwen kakra. E da say yes ne emphasize asidi ya ne enhwe anamontu a Friday and Saturday or Sunday police and immigration to however immigration there na manfo bisa ya yon kofa e da any other West African countries in term said the besi akoso omo so ka wo mo ho a e bi aka se we de enye nkrofo mo na mo mra kwan so aba nti di enti ne ma wo mo enko ne police nso krofo tachi am we ya o madom na koyi no ne omo ne Interpol edi kita ho a omo de ne free to go abai
ena ba mame ena osina me chia hwefo
okay
share check akra fisha
acha fipa comment ye afese se no ahwehwe me
se ewuma na ja yakofa adwuma no foforo bi de atoe ho so ne amakwa ama the upcoming members no so mo so nya akwanya se be ya
so bo no post no
Mama Boni post okay enti oye deputy chair finance committee and oye chief whip and
deputy chief whip
okay majority
ranking
budget committee okay I see and budget committee usually no a minority na chair
minority per our new standing orders
minority na be chair because we are ranking into na mama bisa
minority na chair unse basa na Emma Kwenya, Emma, the other side, and so to me criticize, say, Kama.
Okay.
We call even Zambia Parliamentary. I mean, Finance Committee is chaired by the opposition.
Okay. Yeah, then the Kanenanka Public Accounts Committee in opposition.
So, minority chair of Finance Committee.
Obey steady.
All the time, the Finance Minister was set up.
Okay.
Information will provide the BN, so making sure. So, by then, they don't say, or oppose that. It won't mean because would be able to mercy or made a burden of the government. Into a new standards and the abdot so that kind of hybrid.
Okay.
Into a bassa now, my opposition is so kind. Emma or no so no to Niamamu or who the but look at the case, you see, almost 88 or more home parliament by energy.
Okay.
This only will be a play our house or now. Oh, home relevant to be.
If that's the case, we have council amupa na mubefa. Irrespective of your chair, no. Majority will have their way, whilst minority will have their say. One
thing about Parliament, you know, a very unique institution, and a invest of its own. But sometimes, you know, before the cameras, no matter who need the water, no, you obviously be a yeah konto kwa camera dey budget Jesus here but behind the scenes no
mo bon ko
o kan say na mfi say to asumo a esa wo fa
ene na problem ni say behind the scenes ade no
then tell make us
scenes nanim na hye mafofo ni nkran fi say mo ko a enu na ema o mo nso kono ena se mo anko pani ye di obi atem na no ayarga de ya obegin o ka say o boko e say we wiki dodo ka say so ye bibi ni ade.
Now we have nothing to lose until you be ye the day or outside that you reach out because we govern business. Why we na nkasa no wanye wadwuma by the day no na ebisa wo say obe a leader no yeah the govern business be by saying na wutimi ye
no
but just say who say o pass bill committee ehia language ne kro mo da banko no be a language nyenye
okay
it is obi wo position that say or ye expert in the drafting not ordinary expertise to bear on the work of the committee. No, because such a language when crossway mwa obi fi community be by me community mwa. Now so far, what they do forward, they will come and fight it. Into a very good sailing. So we would more committee level. Into do be one day and this MPP yourself. Nemom
metiasi
ya ka we nyina wie no
ya mo problem no won say na mo nkrofo
ya na eto da na there's a betrayal of trust
on whose part
normally ya opposition na yes ade no
sa majority for there na mo
running
for na yes
what na no da ya pass good body
okay
time ni ho but you know say mo about 27 amendment you say no any problem you know mo ko tana say I have about 90% of my amendments on the buy. Into you when you not to move na eba floor now so abeka say the can only enya adwa so I want to wan see bi
okay
ya mfa numbers na ntwa mfa so
okay
ya ma opportunity you know me na kwetena e fe we know win you know me na kwetena ho o proposal no okay we dey agitum eyi ya jetum no mo so kwate ase dey enyi
na se mo jojo bi sa
yes ya wie ya sorry ya report na ye san be draw about now san be gi wachinya eno na ekofa we nyina eba no eti we are in this thing together
okay
a nation building enti sa enuanom a we can see omo achi omo aye ka ho asem won say Ghana ye omra we say wo to kwan wo kwa brochira wo hu samanfo gina street so ekuta placards omo say sika and all that but mra che say akwara enyina street so ensre sika this over 18 and above. And there problem be na Sunday into adwuma na say do go home and I say aban be create some arrangement be either support to. But you share you no more street some says it's like a kaba. It be a 3 year, 4 years, 7. Na bo say panyini and ma maybe ti baby. Not the mobile good street in the sound of pano. No mo just can in na wi no my dem no makwa ya account e dey mom ayenu akabineza mokro mu di bi mo skate bi osisa krade kwa owia ojiska na okoto de na mo no ofiska nkai okosisa na so de ko support on kra no
actually be no cre because me nyankofo atomic baby and mo bo mama na yesa
no the question is sakra 7 years 10 years no o depo nya sika e try take it free Niger any mali ba kro
empanyimfo na kofa omoba
obi na di omoba me tama otiko jaba na oye gender minister me need engagement on this e mo ko start some picking kra ni bi and that day but at the moment I would do mo na no afepo na mo ba mo
adentia
say eye business na nkra no mo
ni na se de omo kwa wa ukofo mo ba hu se afa de mpanyimfo ani aba ho alama blow nti mejai ana me home so kakra adenti na omo ba mo
ye di akra ne ko ye nipa no don ba no ye nya na nche no
okay
ukra unim nipa no
okay
nti ono no so onlu so hwe the best no la ba che den aba
nti we no ka che immigration force omo move beyond the
actual no ese mo interrogate mo feda who brought you to this country
okay
nti basa na those who are behind it no nyomo chi omo a na betimi end all this na kwanda wo chi na panyin besa ko another batch then
okay
they was emra engagement when no dey ntimi ko create problem my neighbors ne say ye nkrofo akọ Ghana na wo visa eso do duba kroma say eda say e ma we so kroma na say entry visa na dem awa 90 days na so betena ha 1 year or whatever so visa no e genuine when I do bako so be amfa wonko
okay ntimi say other African countries relationship
makoba Kenya makoba Mali makoba Niger me sheda hu say Ghana for na so strade wo me I don't see it
and editorial na ajo ebobo so no yesi omo say Ghana de ayemie utira de ayechew nti wa ma nipa no kra na say utibu abufo ti omo anso aye omo research hu say o aha very fertile
ono dey true e kan wona ma corruption so our system no mu no ukra say the okay you rubber bi ko ye obi ye adwuma ma wa upa manche nipa ne bibia as we feel guilty bi as what the ka bi
mi ho adwuma no so watua ka wa antepe no unsa chi eden
o ta say
on chade
because emra ma kwan say yes sir
okay
o ko other countries e ko didi na akoto ade a emra ma kwan say utua tip and between 15 to 20%.
Okay.
One more bill no so calculate tip the man no. America for them they wo mumrem te so tua.
We if you crop be frɛ wa kai.
One farmer na next time ko more table international. Eti your best immigration for say e mo dwuma so mo ye no. A long overdue. By making sure that those who are behind it no are brought to book. Say be a bit more sanitize the street. Car timinya accident innocent child na ka akwa no street say no bu also anka kokoko fo ne wo mu no omo na ba force na sika no obi timi so mu ti say as o de ne ka
no wo twen
e no utimi say bi so atena system no ma che omo titwi nyina
ebi mu so ntitwi no
yes on titwi no be kan brofo anonim kwan ya aye den ofa so sika no ba sa kra no o pe sika ne fa nkoye hwe nte che so obi na den a share chance anema ne koso ene confrontation mo makochi no togo mo de na be
mojibo
say ni nyina ya dwuma say oman no nyina ya bo na ye because you say boni si but you say abo bituo but you say akwa robo obi ebie the 8 years 10 years if not broke closer to the matter it better the who kwa na wona say bibi ba beto a onim say assembly to ato bibia den and then enfrimuma eno na ma for your self defense no okay so abaning to me mom by the same yam there na so me bom ho ban na mom so be boni na etimi edi akira akofa nipa ne ba na punish na it will serve as a deterrent to others ya na bi me ka say security officers ni bibi to omo a wodi na manto to bo na akwakoche omo na perpetrators no mo yes I don't know ba me no me no de e betime the 8 years 10 years yes ye hu nipa ade no monko asem to mu a omutimi investigation enye sankrofo na chi omo tentem sa no we nyina no ye issues a ese security couples no omo transe access omo say by the end of the day no so person nipa nya confidence in the work you do these are some of the things that so Ghana okoye adwuma wo na asem to a emra wo ho den ebeboa a protect investment emra wo eboboa manipa na odu bonu ne den yesaka no ebasa na obi etu kwan ba ha anatimfo no ponete ye omadwuma say 24 hour economy aye kan ho asemi nyame ya adom na se ba be site onim sa na adwo kwa koye adwuma somebody is out there to give you protection na say we are point man protect wa na adwo ne betima protect it wo mu nyina ye nema ese nyina no ye sinkonya wo ho na ye support to the security agencies some say we can see ona mutaka present about 20 or whatever vehicles any motorbikes the police service to augment the original free trade and omo say investing in security architecture no say ya e ba some so betima dem aye adwuma na protect me no because ye kwa ebe nyina na atamfo so di achi and always the criminals are ahead of the security agencies and so when you invest in the architecture of the security unit now they nyina cost 90
okay
and no chinam no be din komo fufu bi so obo boy neighbors ni nyina instability cost so other na Ghana nko there's kind of stability in peace and I'm saying because how you conduct your home and I can also say security system no one of the top notch this a one no munye adwuma na won de o musiti
and so I say ensheda emfasa ebuo ni anidie ne ma wo
yes especially the police service But also from 2013 I call Parliament because I won State of Nation Address Committee, a ad hoc committee. President Babia set up that committee to receive the president. And when I'm getting closer to the military and the police, when I'm also enemy respect. Comfort your majuma, and never me who woman, Massa. You are the person them. You so me invest in them.
Okay.
They are ready to work. See more akwanya no near support man. They have what it takes to protect all of us.
Thank you. Nana mintie wo immigration na montone police enso ne Togo police akambo mache Kromfotechi amwa mojibo.
Remember sina mache wa hwefo.
Okay.
And me nwa mpanimfo nso. Me say weekend ye twem nso me amebo mama ne. Say me call Sandema.
I see.
So
now I feel chrome.
Okay, Paula Afoko.
Hey, me rent me mfino.
O say ne papa free mu mre bebre bi atwam. Ti. Almost share funeral rites na say over Monday no.
Okay.
You we Saturday no pompon so no Saturday no. Teja yekojam no. E ma ne kusi ne papa. Echi finally. Now the papa a former Council of State member.
Okay.
Nti nyampenifo bebre mo so mo ba kromo be ye krabehwe. Nti ye bet da mo ba e bi aso ase na we wish them well. Ebi mo be free on to wish them safe journey so. Yeah, immigration ne foreigners in semi. I mean say wa we fidi so ya ofie here na etena se kan ho asem. Na ye bobo so the negative effects are ewo yen crew no so.
Yeah man.
And I am mine so.
Ndase.
Say eba the economic effect are. No we nyina yini. Ebia na yen amanfo bi nhunu se ewo economic effect ewo yen so. Engofo yo mo ba mo illegally. Omu nyina mo ba ebi yare o. Ombekwa yarehwe. Your facilities ya ni ebeche, yani omu beche. Meanwhile, because they are into the country illegally, we are not prepared for them. Nti say was say yenya beds 20. Yenim say ye man no nipa dodo sei ne wo nipa dodo sei su na akra yen say omo ba ye man mu. Nti omo illegal immigrants no, we are not prepared to have them. It has an effect on us. Number 2, say ebi mo ba say the honorable ke ebi mo oye kokokra de anka utimi hu se we de nye okrum ni na tuntumfo no mo no ebi mo kra omo titwi ka akankasa no etimi akokopɛ adwuma ene ye nkofo ya manfo ekopre adwuma ho. The limited job opportunities na e wono ye ni omo na eseche. It has a serious economic effect. Obi wo hono mu a oni ni hia na ni di nkomo pa na wan kan kire wo se onye Ghana ni a oba unyi ni unhunu mpo se onye Ghana ni so ye ni omo ana ti makola dwom ye ni omo anom ka mo nkra de omo ye adwuma ukọ washing bay a omaji ho nyina afa ese ye uba adwuma kakra ya aba nso aye ono ye ni omo na ache o
ene na we dey atram kwala na omo street
dey be atram kwala no say na make say we are ye dey say street dey na as ye nyina ye ni wo ho but it goes beyond just the street.
Okay.
Now the social effect, the tension it comes with. Alright, say me okay. A bit more the force na sradi. Inti wow the woman who do crew. Or sorry anopa, o dware what now okay mu tu. Oh yeah do be a traffic light you are now one kasa now you show. Because by force so air conditioning here you force was so road glass cause ne omo de na fe kra keke ne omo kura kwan no osere wade ne wa mfi na asa ne wo no no the sign wo car no ho twe no omo ye na strategically say omo steady traffic light ni hu ya so green na wa ye o parking we si akohwehwe no ana so ye de oh the social tension adiba. And honorable, if you look into our crime statistics, Iowa, no more person ye be budi, but one more and cause crime no kesi. Let us not shy away from it.
In part your data be OHS or no cause crime no kesi.
Na me reporter but Galamsey site to come
Galamsey site omontichi.
Okay.
Na young fa baby ya ansasi wa ye do bibrebe yi komowu area mo yi am I right baby na ojo ba mo
okay agogo ne no petem
omo no mo say ye no ba ye ne omo repi ye ma ne ade no mo ye de enfo omunya akukuduro kura mo mpinifo kura sa ba reduce be ka say ye wo mo wo hanti kura mo kura ye Ghana fo kura say ye with impunity.
Were they wrong?
Were they wrong
say I won wa ha 1992 constitution ne ba no wa ha emra no so say obi a no wo Ghana ansa na constitution ne ba bia no is deemed as a Ghanaian
odim ho ya Ghanaian
ni pe mu nti emra she bedwani enye sa na mra no kan
emra de here
emra no kind of about all person say ya won ha but no claim say ya
won claim say ya won wa
na wo so de dey na verify say wo boy ya won ha
me de me mind na me ka cho say ya won wa start or best
no let's be serious because e bi wo abon say ya say e na Lebanese fo abeji e mai e na Indian say bi wo hono mo mo papa mo na ye wo mo
tamale ye wo ebusua bi wo serbenjergo omo no ton bicycles no India fui ya wo mo ho me ni bi ni cool school
o won birth certificate o won passport o won na unimana
and I'm say there is a proof so you Ghana ni na onye Ghana
okay
one the birth certificate that is a basic one
okay
Busano class one for the birth certificate bra onye bi ma
all right
that is the basic progress it be catch dodo na ya won mo ha omonye Ghana for but they claim and they have the backing what I say and if you go to America say I might not have the statistics now but at least mo amun centro for mo nsem wa mo kama yetin won from me mo crime scenes report mo deba actually says I do for you omonye Ghana for oh yeah the national security threat say o drive na say udru maybe a way hotel Fiesta Royale Airbus stretch so udru Ridge area mo udru baby national mosque iwo down honum
okay
now the risk is this ton second wow millions on
street in so
yes
the most of knife you press here
sir jack knife you pressing kitikiti ya ebi mo ton matches
o kama na kosi sen e ma ni yehu
ya na anajo the zoom 11 p.m 12 a.m 1 a.m na nipa ba ejina kwa ho se woton jack knife ade enku and it is a good step by the immigration service and this one should be a joint force. They should involve the national security because it goes beyond the set. Yeah, chichi. So the honorable kind a cartel. Yeah, yeah. You want to be then ramity say commentators because na entia omuye ECOWAS for and more number of days and all your ECOWAS we have the domestic laws of our country before those international laws came. And you cannot base on the international law to step down our domestic law, and then we will clap hands for you.
Na yentumi enyina ye ECOWAS mrane so na ye
mu ye mre nimtia na ye mo yensem ma o
waka no opposite o se unim se ukona kosani international treaty utumi mejina wo local law so ka international treaty na enye adwuma
na before so ba over treaty no esa wo hwe domestic law no se den no be work
hand.
Okay.
What you say international law be a year adwuma wa ha no na che say ye domestic law no support.
Okay.
Na international law no e support say unni ho kwan say ana o man ma kwan say bremu abrem baako
menyi nisa
e ma international law no e support say beginagina ya kwan ho na seresere sika ye mra no international law no ma ho kwan say bra o man nim na be ye adwuma abra e mra no ma kwan say ye adwuma
say ni mra so e ka say nsra de ntie bi a lupo bi
na o
nsra
de ya da bi me no nya adwene
okay de ntie a me nya adwene no
wa ene se ngie nyina yako gina kwa na ngie sra
say Ghana o Ghana form sra de mra ben ye we che say main gina street ni so mbege
oh it might not be strict so nim say emra ni bi wo hono mo a ye ntworo no black and white
say nti na ne onu so open na dia no
because wa me a wo be sra ma de so nim say wo harass unim say wo harass me de me a wo ba be sra ma de no so nim say wo harass me de
okay
na so nim say harassment so emra tia
okay
so emra ni bi wo ha ye ntworo
okay
uwa na uba ube tieti me fa ho die so
na so you try give tax into what gives na was aka ko what you have tax
eh have you much as you
oh but you see near was say yeso ye and they say in as much as I ye amamre ni amane na ye wo ye gidie ai kire se sa afu yetimi che won ade no e wo say yen so my man I was see who say sanko fu so they pose a threat e de bia meka me say
enu nti na omo tu ana
mo kran omo nam kwan ho bebre o kwache na de because e bia o yes sarka ana say bia odifo bi ahye won kombi no wa prophetic direction that's an orphanage bebre wo wanyi menye sure say specific so person cho bia de a chena de o kwa
okay
you are prison for
okay
you are you won kofu ananse me koye ye be ye 7th anniversary prayer palace any ma ye task bi say yenko ye call hospitals bi say yenko okwa omo data of omo ntimi ntwi omo hospital bills o ye detain omo wo nti wa do ye bia
koye ma omo
betimi akwa
nti so ka che Ghana for omo yes ado ene o street ni so ni say no so
hyenkofo nkran
okay
that is the bedrock of the encouragement.
Okay.
So we need a whole mindset change on this kind of.
Thank you.
Because there are laws in this country. Let me short Immigration Service Act 2016. What I say Act 908. Okay, kaya. A bet channel nyoma bebre. Omo Act 573 wo honom. Omo jina mra so na de yori omo ye no. But ya chichi sanko fu nyina wie ekosi sen ye de omo ko ye betena ho asam ma babiem enhihye ye ben ni aya ye di gu akwam se won a ya chichi won ko no omunya kwan ensa mabiem na afoforo so mmeka ho eno na was here because this to me in as much as it is a good step in the right direction, it was more of a reactive response. What is it? The part to do on the status here did so omujina kwa ho na higher in say na immigration for taking action. But omu won hihye as adni ekui e free na ekui sade no e bi nsibio.
Okay. Thank you. Come on.
Yeah.
Akwaba.
Major so many about they say.
Adom na unso
Edeyami ase.
Ne wa betu so
ni. Me nchia menua Honorable Richard and my brother Nana Yao. Yeah.
Yes, come on.
Asama da ono so no very important.
Okay.
Na o ma story bi tama o ne honorable kasama.
Okay.
Ka say obi ka say ebi mutimi to nkra say Ghana for the much ade pa. Nti momra.
One editorial
and I can tell you
guide.
something. Somewhere 2018, me am a secretary. I want my private office.
Okay.
I catch me say, oh no, no. A coin so. Oh, the house apa.
Okay.
And now obi a call. Nipa no so ka house. No catch any and say, oh fool say. Na mo magana. Australia o jina coin so Australia. And o ye call. Mo magana. Ghana for. Omu chade te say boni bi no maye. Okay. Oh. And o say o Ghana omu chade. Australia uniska. Omu chade te say bomo boni bi.
Any paper make kan o say o say na de na wanche wa na nitibu abu ne fu na o feel bad, o feel guilty say oh manya adoye.
E sha say free home. It starts from that place. You see, we share almost streets in last 2 days or 3 days. But they say immigration koye soup no, and sa rounding up so whatever.
Okay.
Me bo ma baso.
Okay.
But I asked several questions. Now me driving and me tell me say first, how many immigrations? Sorry, how many embassies of these alleged countries are for you free ban? How many in Kitahuana? 2. How are they going to get them back to their country? There were budgetary allocations. Because honorable Kasana or say, hey, Yanka who say biara ebeye omoibia eyemra ejina mraso.
Okay.
Parliament is very important. Legislation pave way for everything you do in your fiscal year. Question is say budget aya no. Immigration now omuko soup no. I was told that omunya about 2,200 people. First day no kwa. So 2,200 people and kwala no were about 900 and something. Emma ni mema no Emma were around almost 700 and something. I stand to be corrected. But what is important is enkwala no for 900 and 900. Yes, a dozen. Now, question I want to ask is 2000 and something. Say the omu ko ebia we mu ko Burkina, we mu ko Niger, we mu ko hi. Why the bebe cost no? Now nipa na bebe cost no so no aban no yesusu aye ho budget atowa na. E wo sika na. These are the questions I wanted to ask. Then what is important they say your relationship between us and our neighbors. In this case Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali and all those places I say onkofone free bano. But good news was that Mete say the embassies of these countries were so much involved in some of these things, and then they had contacted them or okay. And I was happy about say immigration council. I say wow, that's a good one. Now there can say there's a worrisome situation. And then the more feel mu krom ba it's genuine say ye ba besrade ebi mo so because of the terrorists attacks na ni insurgency na ewo ohonom no, some of them ran away from their villages. Where can they go and make mania peace and make ma settle down? No, omuka say me enwane emra efeni say Ghana. Then they rush into Ghana to come in then have peace. Omo bedu Ghana so a yakukuru omo. Nti if it's a war-torn zone and omo free haba, are you returning them to that same place?
Why not?
These are questions again. No, I'm saying it's but human rights.
Human rights. The refugees every war-torn baby. Eba say why war-torn na no humanitarian ade na woka.
Yes.
But no share say chinchin war-torn to me and
no, you spoke about international protocols. You spoke about conventions, treaties are signed.
Yes.
We are sometime your friend is saying attached to some of these treaties and conventions are signed. So everyone say ebia yene UN in charge of refugee camp no Ghana assign bibi efa ho a let's say nipa no ampampa war koso e wo no kum no adwane aba ha no ma of course emrano emma o say san fa nipa nko because
I said no you want she ya the refugee in Fasoba. Oh,
so
you don't come on your own accord. Now we expect to say country no be you
do that. You can do that. You say Ghana for cry.
And cry ta ben the baby dance yes sir.
I'm saying ebi
the thing say deportation akasa no won't even for so being deported. That's another leg of this.
And you say me nkwa
me. To make a case.
Okay,
into kwesi ewo mi krum ye pemekum me chieftaincy matters. Oh no, you investigate the matter.
Hey.
No processing it through the right
point I was trying to make.
No adopting the panel.
Absolutely.
Refugee camp. As it is now, we don't have a refugee camp.
There be
we are dissolving it.
We don't have.
And you can't return them that we don't have a refugee camp.
If there's a fresh case,
you can't.
If there's a fresh case,
in playing the devil's advocate,
you can't.
Yes, surrounding countries, yeah, go for Niger, Mali, Burkina, the Mudiahin. And you declare say war one.
Thank you.
And you declare say chieftaincy crisis war.
Very
to
good.
what extent? And as a chieftaincy crisis war.
Thank you.
I will answer him.
Come on.
First of all, no for Burkina Faso. Ebia say unim the border between Paga and Ghana.
Yeah.
Otra Paga pe village be for Dakola.
Yes.
Okay.
Over so oko for Bongo so. No. Na your friend say that particular border post ofa boko side so a obefa bito e do honom ohon nyina no the allegation, not the allegation, the news is that terrorists have taken over those areas. The news is that umutumi ko eko village we no ma ko bia no moko.
Okay.
Oh, they kill people and it's there, it's happening. So I'm not saying those people are from there, but my point is that in terms of we screening no ekobase those areas are genuinely they will need asylum.
Oh yes.
Now if they genuinely need asylum,
I ain't leaving that to immigration because you need
it's a discussion we are having. It's a discussion we are all having. I'm the UTV people are listening and we are all helping to shape thoughts. That's the more reason why we're doing this.
Okay.
Like I said, if we are watching we are screening we genuinely we say so we are on a budget and make us a national security budget ought to be looked at. At that point, no.
So, Omuti in as much as they shape it out, no matter the canon. Yes, we have a part of I feel and to quite baby, I'm free back.
No, exactly. But nonetheless, this is on the human face I'm making. Nonetheless, the we need to condemn it. First of all, no, there are people who think say if you are a Muslim and you are poor, the religion tells you say go and beg.
Okay.
It is not true. Idea the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was against strongly was for you to reduce yourself to a beggar, and told every single Muslim never. Never to reduce yourself to a beggar.
Now, so what offer Samaba?
Yes,
a bit sensitive,
yes.
but you will just
no, it's not too sensitive. It's not. What is making sensitive?
Because one time, just Mother's Day, Sunday, me call streets, me see me cheche begging Mother's Day. So my name is small boy, and now me tell him, see Juju, do you realize that Uncle for a share or more ayacho madena, Lady Bakope. And our names on any bus small boy or castle. But one no more from the mall to Royal Fiesta to Kaukudi, Yanuka, okay, Chaita or Kaukudi, about 37, Huninano. They were Muslim.
And I'm telling you, I'm a Muslim myself, and I'm just sensitive. I'm a Muslim. What they call Zongo ha, Okakwe Central. After Abusokai, you were area for Ngoma Cafe.
Okay.
Go and see the Nigerians and people who have come say we've made it a trade to come and beg, and they have been accepted and they're living here. Go to Nima, you see influx of them there. Same. Go to Kumasi, Abu and all areas. You see we accommodate
and
these
growing
people.
Up was Sunyani market or area. And I say yes, I so better no good in
I am telling you without any equivocation, say there is no teaching in Islam anywhere that encourages begging.
I then share for now my girls who call Quran,
yes.
And church ma who said they are not fulfilling Quran.
My dear sister, what is causing this is poverty and attitude.
Okay.
It's not about religion. So that is why I'm making it clear, say, a Islamic principle.
Okay.
And it will never be Islamic principle.
Okay.
To the extent that the dignity of man is said that the prophet even taught us, say, a drubabi or not to me that 3 days without food. Your dignity. Believe in God and work. Not say you are fine, and then you are white and say, my family had a begging spree. That is very wrong.
Yes, say 5 pillars of Islam, zakat in a woman. And you know, no say, and come phone say, Chadie, and to me, Quaco, no be a chamadi.
Zakat, it is a tithe.
Okay.
As simple as that. In the Bible, you don't call it tithe.
Okay.
And in Quran, we call it zakat.
Okay.
Zakat is what you pay on what you have earned in a yearly. 2.5% of what you have earned.
So you pay to who?
You first how the zakat is done is that community way. Me manyebi, nyakopa adome. Me aggregate here my 10,000 Ghana cedis in 1 year. Eh me sika nyakopon de ache me. Na nyakopon say 2.5% of that 10,000.
Okay.
Na share o community no obi a wonni bi.
Okay.
Asase kapudi metima aboa no ama ono so share jotre bi ase.
Okay.
Share juma bi ase.
Okay.
Fakomano, that is zakat. Zakat is not for you to go out one city. You have defeated the purpose of zakat.
Me just say be anuti na ebi mo a omu ni mo no and na wa me ehun say
there were 2 things. There was sadaka and there was zakat.
Okay, so
the zakat is what I've explained.
Okay.
Sadaka no ye say see I me pay dia me ti hoyi me ti can say je 1 city. Me pay na me chi obi ade.
Okay.
But no so say nipa no kwa wo chi na de no. Kai who say nipa no indeed o him obre oniduane now if you say me
na she bi mutima nti ye omo ko street
ni so ko you are not told to just go about say me hwe nipa me yesterday that's what that and that's why me condemn me I
you
condemn,
as a Muslim,
not just me, that's what the Muslim principles say. If you're a good Muslim and truly speaking a good Muslim, your dignity is important. First of all, the faith teaches say, "Cause a oneness of God, only Yakupon the arazak, only nipa word dear, otimi chadie." Okay. If I would jidie etu Yakupon will say, "Me Yakupon, one Yakupon me somo na komo deme."
Okay.
God will find a way of seeing you. But say attitude no, any poverty no, emma nyina komaya who say, "Yes, radie wa kwan so." That is what brings all this. When I see them, it's actually sad to me. Oh, my kind book be written by a Senegalese poet. The title of the book is The Beggar Strike.
The Beggar Strike.
Yes, very literature. Yeah. The Beggar Strike. There was a character called Morinyai. Morinyai got up as a municipal chief executive. You know, see beggars we also come do. No call rampo munyina send the immigration for year. I should say munyina ko gu baby. Then later on, because of the belief say you say yanko ya sare kabi no on sanye baby nko no say okay efedie a malam bi si ana obi si mensu nko ya sare no call baby odi ko to say okomo omo sadeka no mo say mesu yesu ya strike yesu ye. Anyway, but you see to end with, I think say immigration yambo mabaso.
Okay.
First of all, commendable for them to have done.
Now police for no match from Mojibo ni de mumbo mabaso.
Secondly, it's in conjunction police for of course we have look honorable Kasembi say yes, security forces. Trust me, in the sub-region Ghana is top notch.
No, in Africa.
I'm telling you, we are not a joker. We are not joking. Okay. But the work national security of God. Forget the politics that no. The actual work they do. I'm telling you. So medicine, GIPC. Now Obi Saminu say Mraben CSA your friend is saying Obi encostrade there, Obi to no more.
Okay.
Okfa GIPC law now, section 27. It tells you say a foreigner who is not a Ghanaian is not even allowed to indulge in petty trading like the Omoyo Omotong matches. You are not allowed. The law is clear on it.
Thank you.
So Odia fa Baba cry, even Baba cry, we are not allowed to do Baba. You are not allowed to do taxi driving. For a man in a kind, you are not allowed to do taxi driving. You are not allowed on any day say Okoton recharge cards as a foreigner. But question I ask, Trade Ministry, what modalities have we put in place to enforce this law?
adwadifo na ni bere na omo koto nkofo shop mu a trade ministry be sorry thank you nana umma mu bi obeba ma na e ka dum so energy minister se me obi akomentu na na odi koto parliamentary select committee na ni mo pedia se o ye de for energy for emsa Maria na one of them kapa ye de omo kanye sikawa ti ye fango na e wo na so mo mbesumie no 2 days 6 hours afi ye see doom so is eminent ti afi ye sambisa no ti oni omo akasa ama wo mate ate se ye betua aka no nti wo de omunya abotire man nti doom so no enya mba ne mo wo de hihye egu akwam se sesi a banyumakuo ahodo no obi abetua ne nkane aka ete wo saying
that's yeah let me say maybe no super 30 seconds member
there's 30 seconds
no that's 30 seconds there have been a lot of steps time I were Alan Chamantin trade minister or the year towards this GIPC for law because I fundamentally no crano open business now you need to have I think a minimum capital of $1 million.
Yeah, I think $200,000. So $200,000 no.
1 million.
1 million.
Yeah.
No, some is 200,000.
Depending on what you want to retail and all those things. Yeah. Now omo yehu eyipan kese out here. Omo ko circle na say for ma omo ko tutu shops especially most of them were Nigerians. Omo tunton cables ne ade ebedani in Sembibre. Yeah. I think so there have been steps that have been taking place. But the problem we have again was we had again was that obekwako bisana ope omonkrata na wo de ye adwuma no. Na Ghana ni no mo de na ye registration.
That's what the problem is. Ghanaians na ebo.
Na ebi o no so
na ye boy ho abo.
On Ghana ni bi so abo connection or say ne yere no.
Okay.
What you say? Na ni kunu no. Na based on that no or the no akwa bi business.
Omo gu cycle bebre.
Yan kasa yem call for na na ema ye bre. So the implementation of the plan and the strategies he even had in dealing with this matter no. There was a challenge.
Thank you, energy.
Oh, and I was say your mindset change no so about but energy. Yeah, me was school. Sad time na no mo introduce prepaid yi at the bank kakra and me say ye koye presentation be my argument I koye ye ne say Ghana high way one more amoma ye boka kese state enterprises any state agencies yeah a state agency and I'll bet me akwa office and uni office na the light near conditions so a state agency car and all the beko functional papa ni team and so na oshenkeni no wo business seat akwa akire na conditions so na obon frama. It is only state agencies.
Oh yes.
Parliament. Omubeti midi hokra aye adansi. Uzo mu use centralized air condition. Omubeti me control. But sometimes you will go na omebiebie apono near windows and the consumption is always high.
Yeah.
Na you propose say prepaid meters. Yemfa bi mo state agency bia ofri ground floor echo first floor staircase wo ho enso original left mu na akọ what the attitude the typical I don't want to say Ghanaian attitude but sa attitude na eye aban dia yemfa nsoa ye di si abetin so na obra
Aban betia.
No, and that is a very bad one. To me, it is the minister no suggestion. It's very much in right direction.
Okay.
So we share or more report may mean current debt no, but as at 2016, now MMDs at the ECG car in excess of 2.6 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Yeah. Say UTV. Modi ECG ka 2,000 Ghana cedis. I did mo transmitter back off. What you say? A ban is saying it's now. Emma state agencies, it's media buying car, ECG car to a tune of 2.6 billion. This was as of 2016. I don't know who the current CCI will be. What you say? But these same state agencies, they have enough money to do other things. Ebi hu here. Enti me about utilities now, water, electricity, fuel. Eni say you di free aban adwuma. Say okwa akoto petrol because there is a budget for all of these things. And say individual and a private enterprise no. Say wono use prepaid. Na otimi monitor ehu say eni say the prepaid esa. Inti de bia no ebi gusu a odi ye adwuma na on close a having a prepaid meter on a ministry and a state agency no should not cause a national security threat. Iti argument be obi say na say presidency near the prepaid ekoboa na say estate officer refia estate officer ore ye de na efi
ni refia say na wonim na adwuma no wo ma fire.
That's the point. Because if a private enterprise cannot forget that it is running out of power, the presidency cannot forget that it is running out of power. The Supreme Court cannot forget that it is running out of power. The Parliament of Ghana cannot forget that it is running out of power. And if you check their consumption here, a bit shocking. So very high. Yeah, well, how many MPs now? 276. 75.
For now.
At the DNC.
Abdulkumanov.
Ojamba.
Onu na ni pen o de because it's yeah. What not all says the time but so am I
offices here making. What the air cancer electricity once a me. What the Shedako any of the ministries who drew on my Shedako Rao. Almost air conditions no be windows. The room is stuffy. The room is stuffy. No maybe windows. Every day they are using lift. Ground floor to the first floor. We need to be able to.
But isn't it interesting? You are even paying cleaners, and you say your room is stuffy, and you have cleaners on your payroll.
Oh yes.
Can you imagine this?
24/7.
What kind of country are we in?
24/7. Oh, and here, if we want to manage these things very well, we need to go with what the minister is saying, and it should not only end at state agencies also, because one who said there are some communities be one man, maybe refugee community. Let me who be a chapa. Yeah, that's so every day. Your friend is saying.
The postpaid
no. Maybe that's
a lot of.
We need to be able to invest in this infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because onim say, who use telephone? That's auto credit. Auto credit now, ut me a call. So what means over your caller? Obeto. It is 1 minute over that can you It is only at that point and he bet me a holding one responsible. Because they say I can say, oh yeah, almost say to me NGG Sikanina. Na ye you prepaid no. Omo ye postpaid no do so sin ye prepaid no. Omo argument omo dey no. If we are able to invest in this infrastructure and technology, na yetimi wa be off sa postpaid phone nyina enkankan ni MMDAs no ni emomo prepaid ni bi ni enhwe se revenue no ebeba because realistic prices na dey enkankan ko yeni media twia na ebetwia but we would pay or we can make that argument for quality service when there is enough revenue for them and when they have been able to be good and improve infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, come on.
Yeah, you see, I thought the beer, me feel say yarn about mine.
Okay.
Okay. Because why am I saying this? This statement from the minister is even needless. Why am I saying it's needless? Question I may be saying say ministries, departments, agencies are all come one seven. Are they? What is the status quo now? Let us sit there free more one. It's a simple question. So are we told that now? So see, meters are the abubo honum nyina no a free meters ana. That's the question we have to ask the minister. Or that's the question by extension we should ask the ECG. Okay. Because the minimum say almost electricity to the extent that secondary schools krano free SHS and Irani part of its budget has to do with electricity to secondary schools. So every institution in this country is supposed to pay electricity or they are paying electricity already. So this communication, I really don't understand it. Unless they tell me, say, free, I'm surprised.
Okay.
That is not what it is. The point, what it is that impunity and, of course, wapayo, any katasisha, why am I saying this? Yeah. Budgetary preparation, meaning you are on the finance committee, right?
Yeah.
Good. And sana on my budget. Ministry of Finance actually command ministries biya se mon fa budget mra to cover the 12 months and the fiscal year. And I just no. Budget no omo dey kwa. Once electricity is part of your bill, obviously utilities will be part of that budget.
Okay.
Obviously.
Into
UTV. And I make no UTV wo hey. Na nke UTV a ministry. Yes, ya na managers. Na finance minister Chiroma will say from budget mra for 1 year for 12 months. Na me koya me fiscal policy e parliament. E parliament be mra wo ho. E wi na e de sika mu sika amamo na mo ya yejuma. Ya
yes.
Na odi frata na akono. Ya budget ampa ye de akọ parliament. Parliament nso apase ayemra afi de aka allocations. Na ato forcing honorable etina ho na say oh ya UTV ministry e dey say baye omusika amede mo no e 78 million dey emu important pa e utility we so you say because they have to run second dey advance mo na me bisa say what then is causing them not to pay the bill. A simple matter. What is them making them say yeah default to ya? My brother is making this argument of say your friend is saying power conservation or omun conserve.
Okay.
I am not even with that. Whether you conserve or you didn't conserve, you have sent a budget. So as you can on second FIA, I don't want to bill no.
Okay. Thank you.
Secondly, now ECG boss or call Samuel Dubik Mahama or YBB under MPP. And people were after him. And I thought people were very disingenuous. Make I say tall or call tall, echo catch your light, say more light, or because omodeka. Or call other institutions, echo yeah. Or shall say state enterprises, and no more to so. And I did a buy Juma for and I asked the question again. I buy Juma for budget now, more year light in the sick and I feel the ECG betray light. I must say, I didn't know. Look, as I said now, this minister should do one thing. Give an order to ECG boss.
Okay.
Every ministry or agency that is owing, go and disconnect. Simple. And as simple as that. A disconnect here until you pay, you are not connected. And I tell you, this conversation will not come on table. And
they said they're not the big parliament in the idea. Yeah, do big duable. Look, it's a simple argument. I make it. And that's why I would year budget to go now. You power will.
If I'm done Japan, we have YouTube program. Yeah, I'm communicate. Every ministry, every whatever, disconnect them or if they are owing, let them pay.
Let's see what they do. Very good job on that. The big did that.
Excellent. And then you can say the big did a good job. So that time, no, they know
how very simple, said yeah.
Oh, it is very simple.
Yeah,
don't make it
come on, Boko, Mount Canada. And simple. Maybe I'll come out.
One, say a boy buy or revenue generation. Because in the budget, you know, about just be raised about 76 billion Ghana cedis internal revenue. But what I say, it is a mono nasa budget. I can have similar a war. remain an NDCMP because
Timubi, what's your buying so very easy?
Me you see this
example no.
Okay.
But in the budget, you see there's a proposed amount
of revenue generation.
Yes, about 176 billion Ghana cedis. You see the expenditure side say in your way best spend it this much. Difference in the deficit no. And the borrow in that day, what made then I admitted that gap.
Yes.
It is a one to me raise that revenue now. And now we distribution to ministries and agencies. It's by the other day, no 176 billion, no could raise 120 billion now. Certainly, you can't do 100% distribution of the revenue. But what I say, last no so the other I did share this on the issue like goods and services. The overhead expenditure.
Overhead expenditure.
Yes, no matter what.
Who was scale? I was saying.
So you prioritize.
It's a priority.
Yeah, priority.
Pachoboko as a mum person honorable Becanas.
There be several.
No problem. Is say. Matisa man for argument, you know.
Yo, my muha.
Oh, sorry, of my muha. On I say buying to a buy a union state
capital. I want to a capital.
But of course,
capital, but it doesn't matter. Capital represents the country.
It can't. This one it is by
Parliament. I want a budget when your location. When your location to spend.
Yeah.
You see the provided service amount. Oh, you see they say oh you know so you bankrupt for. It is sick and name for ya DBA here. Dance between ECG.
We know management or more state organizations no mun take it decision.
Yes, no, that's the reality on the ground.
But that's wrong.
But
and I can get in a location. No one to be quoted.
That's wrong. As simple as that. Oh,
Mama, typical example.
If I'm a
come on, why are you talking as if just last year
emotional.
The agencies and the ministries were paying their lives?
It's for all this time.
When they say
the way I that's wrong, that's wrong.
So stop at the point.
4 months in our administration there, wait magazine. They have made this point. Set institutions that's so easy. Every year, beginning of the year, they sign performance contract with the president, not even the minister. No matter indicating we will make profit of this, we will do this, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, they run at a loss, and the CEOs are still kept.
Kept. They are paid bonuses.
Yes.
And if your profit is all the bonus.
Cocoa board, 2023. Cocoa board ran at a loss and still paid bonus.
For the end work.
For the end. Bonuses are hang on profitability. Why not run at a loss? Obviously, to motivate them.
It is only in Ghana.
Only in Ghana you can find this. Why in a broadcast I check bonus? In Maya Bank, it's about 19 to 20 years. I don't mind about declare profits or no. Then there's a percentage for you as a bonus. Now we run at a loss, we see a set to a bonus amayo.
Nanso na omuden kaniaka.
Omuden kaniaka. Eti correction na say UCG no ntimi that distribution losses.
Okay.
But what I say. And nothing na buy we say any ntimi enyi sika na let's give it to the private sector. As off taker. When saka power no mobi enye correction amount. We are what percentage amount. Into ko human face bi eni ho enye colleague minister any minister say oh chale yenye sika de my time kakra. Wadafo ni health minister. Wadafo ni lands and natural resource minister. Wait ma ko office mi ko twa ne kaniem. Private sector ni de oni adamfo bia.
Okay.
Ejmo any business. Into no do budget because why say GRA?
Kwen obeton ACG.
GRA they are not on government payroll. They are on retention. The more they correct, the more money they get because or up to 3% commission. Into what force society? Yes.
No.
What I say to what force obey sika bebre.
The one that state your more
target.
No, oh my no magic. I say we can't only make a problem.
It's efficiency na you can want
Okay.
Certain institutions no, you making sure say there's efficiency. Se nipa na nya dwuma there's a saying say quick or slow to high. Quick to fire.
Okay.
Nipa na nya adwuma, nipa from nya adwuma ne fama. Now once you on trade be 8 years, so na company no run at a loss. Anything I buy say oba be see another gas processing plant. Because me look I say gas or more no, you will lose about $150 million.
You don't even have money for your capital expenditure. You are talking about building things.
Investment. Look at the first one. I top of the 1 billion. Chinese
but we need to
look at savings about 300 million cedis every year.
Yes, we need to invest.
Which is and only a problem because we take loans for consumption.
For sanitary parts.
Mo bro for no so.
I didn't know they could sanitary parts.
Sikasem.
What I say? No, not there for them. But I leap into your honest. There's no productivity. And nobody's graduating from the LEAP program.
LEAP now, okay. You could give me the big bank.
Aye. They are not to KK party. So yeah. One more say about what you say.
I feel now my politics. Thank you.
It's the second gas processing plant. Okay. And number investment away. It is a West African gas pipeline and supply. We can rely on your own.
Okay.
It will create employment. It will make a lot of savings, about $300 million for you. What I say?
And you have access to sell to other countries.
Other countries. So the initial commitment in is so high.
Now you bet to me aye.
Oh yes, the technical committee is in place now. They've done the studies.
Technical.
Budget in the cater for it in the budget.
This mid-year review and the next budget, we'll look at all those. Who said that? And I can see the next and then about one say you can't say you can do something. I'm say
come on, say when to me and you man.
Budget.
First of all, this cannot come in a mid-year budget. Mid-year budgets are not for capital expenditure.
Main budget.
It
wasn't catered for in the main budget.
That's a good one.
Until I dream one next year November.
I don't think you put in place the committee. You do all the necessary works. How much are we going to spend on this? What I say? At the moment now we have budget in November.
I do not even think. I do not support the practices I do with budget. No, we should rather be looking at strategic investments.
If you don't think it is okay.
Good
news ahead of mid-year budget. There be Janyo na the better so. Come on, Baumia tells Cambridge Business Forum. Momo ne die na abuama unbanked. I banked. Come on, obe can't we abum for 5 minutes.
Me can't media budget no anyway na go. First of all, I think say your budget say we buy no media no that media budget we end up.
June, that's the middle of the year. Near June, July.
August. Okay.
Why August? So why do we call it media?
Because the budget came in March.
Okay.
We are in November there. Now we share the 6 months period.
Okay.
To review it.
Quick one.
Yeah, no annual day.
Thank you.
It's good say about media budget and about mechanical create no. But first of all, your main budget on by March. Could do baby yedri. Matete say and I made it say aban juma for say oh dollar now aba form ye juma ye say. To be honest with you, this man is sitting on finance committee or name make pa. Ye can't cry. Factors are abua budget is a CIA to him. The windfall that we had internationally. That's one. Because windfall ni gold na yetiminya reserve na yetu hono amount of sikapudu eda hono. And a gold prices cost for international market no help us. 2. Cocoa board from 620 million they are moving to over 850 million as a result of pricing. Windfall. 3. The demand for dollar and also abafom because of the tariff imposition abanya US Dubai trade. And the last one has to do with subdued expenditure by Obanyi. What is a subdued expenditure? I'm happy honorable is here. On country me since omo capital expenditure omo tima ye pim. John Mahama aban buy ya tima spend this wa ha, ya spend this wa ha, ya sit down wa ha, ya yes wa ha, and I must say they've injected money in the system. Apart from Bank of Ghana injecting about $490 million to help buy fuel for this country, which was the only dollar that came in. So I am saying that, first of all, your budget has not even moved because your capital expenditure, I don't know what you have done yet. What we are doing right now is a revenue expenditure. Paying salaries and allowances, bonuses. And the question I want to ask, we borrow to come and spend and enjoy, and yet our economy must look good. Well, I wait for the mid-year budget to hear. Bawumia talks about Momo. I think, say, first of all, economy be a going concern. And a Momo na ye kan ho asem no. To be honest with you, aboa ye pa.
Okay.
Aboa bibiara and my main fact commendation Emma Telecos. And are the telcos, I should call them. Or more telecommunication companies, like I mean, body, but all of them are operating a boa the citizenry and a boya economy and so. Interoperability na ye de ye no so no. Aboa asama say now nka ukuta hotel cell and now we kuta MTN and then you can all send money to each other and then ease Look. Can I no nanka so ube money sika because of trust in tea. I was so far bus. Every hand come makango because meti makango.
Okay.
Now they are common. And it takes just a punch of whatever, some punches on your phone. Now I say this kana money panel. So I think say the ease aba boy economy so no. Now ade aba no so no yanka who say fraud so system ni mu. It's not just about say aba. Disadvantages also eka ho. And I think that fraud na woman no obi a manage platform you bia should be able to know how they will help so that at least unsuspecting Ghanaians will not be taken for granted, as it were. And finally, Mecca say, was a good thing by this government.
Okay.
Because Yankasa MPP, yes, we share was say, young woman, yeah, they buy a Nanson Kaya buy yeah, then you be saying ye free ho. Because Nipa there.
Yes, where you want.
No, it's good. It doesn't matter. No, we brought it. We brought it. Ewo adwinpam. And the cover say a road your friend saying road toll see a free honor. And our reason was that we could have made more money from that area and then rather than your friend saying road tolls no. But the buyer, of course, policies be on with money aba. Nipa ntina wo ye den wo ye policy. So Nipa if you say it's inimical to their growth, it's not helping now. You think of it again and then you take it out. So I'm saying MPP brought it, but MPP is also of the view saying Kayenyi in free honor. So it's a John Mahama, yeah, it's a good thing. Let's support it. Then we move on. But in a nutshell, no, Momo is a good policy in terms of monetary situations in this country for all of us.
Mobile money and Momo.
Well, mobile money.
Momo ye brand though.
Well, Momo ye brand no.
Ababe to say toothpaste bako na so newspaper bako
and mobile money we correct mobile money but mobile money policy na a very good policy abo obi biara
enko nana
oh za
na oba so be ka media budget onya kwa ka budget oh church enko yes
but me starting free media budget.
Okay.
I think sir now, Kamal raised a lot of issues with regards to the current financial strategy of economic strategy of the Abaino. Now, se offer budget omudi kan editu jana budget biya woni nyina so ananie opese woye odiye didi kan omo ka se sa budget yi omo dia bayi omo hwe kwan so a omo be blocking all the loopholes no may increase revenue generation and that was in March they were present here
so no capital expenditure
me patch member number 2 omo ye say omo beti expenditure so 3 na omo pe kwan bi so a omo di be control forex no. Now, this was all geared towards economic stability. Now, yeah.
Yes, Nana.
Say, say, obi person bringing about stability in the economy. Obi anyone want control the expenditure, with me stabilize the economy.
And yes, I saw tutu ni sika, said you di sika fa.
Tutu si ni sika fa.
Okay.
But boom kompon akohwe wechi no. Na wakohwe ka ya buragu ho. Obebru bie ka ho ana se obepe kwan bi so no watwia saa ka no nkakra ansa na wabro ka ni biego was se o de kadada o hwe car na da ho a contract wo mama no menye sika ntua was ansa na ban dada no kura be free mo na o mu ntua ka o ma ntua me ami nua be ma mi na nta wa ntua ka wa mtuo wa mo bi esika bia what you say inti aban no enhihye ya o obi ani wa ye ne de wo sa aban de ne kana wo ntua ye na mum se be ya obefa so obehihye ne nyoma yiti dia toso ya oman na ye wo mu no e wo se ye hwe bibia ye ko ni ehunu enmo a ye be den ye betu Cocobot or the example omusika sem syndicated loans or mukoje ye problem a ye wo mamu baako any syndicated loan here can once again yaka di biada me e kamen ko a enko se syndicated loan ye pekwan bi sukura ni etimi jai because wunim ye ko amanoni ma German so see ye ko ton ye kuku nangi disika na yeden aba abeboa ye man
okay
na emum no we de ye dikan akɔgye sika na bedi ene ye di nyoma nako inti sika wo se eba oman no no kura no ensa aba omosaje ye hunsi ho na hwef mere dodo ni mfie dodo a ye ton kuku
okay
ya do kuku aton kuku na de bia that every year bia ye kɔ ne akɔgye besia ne de aba abɛyɛ nti ye niwu nti ye nya kwan foforo bi so mfa so.
We need to revolutionize the entire system.
I didn't think that they be ada. Broni no here you koko no. And so I don't know what say banasa. Say we cannot even add value to beings na your hand. Nemum ye de command no the value account no asaba be ton na boarding asama ye. Your gold and be the okay. Because say you perceive dealing with the issue. Last year when you cancer said no.
Now
you hear abaya obe take the bull by the horn. Now what control the gold market dealing with the issue. Last year when you cancer said no.
Now
you hear abaya control the gold market. Whatever it takes. Good. Need that kind of will to control the cocoa sector.
Okay.
What you say? Now, yet me, and this is something the Agric Minister and Randy, who is the head of Cocoa Board, should be working towards.
Thank you.
Well,
Nana,
wrap it up. All right, there's budget once I'm no about it.
Oh, the man can't.
But what? There was a media budget, media expectations, and they say, "Omubit me a day and share, yet be sustaining."
Sidina
Honde.
Thank you. Francis Shayani Tuja. Semuni bisu akani yo.
She share the bibro.
Okay.
August ne be media nti mama ha mo good news no Ghana for better.
So free as e buru nso ntema no wani ayekoko.
Emwa menua kamadin.
Okay.
Osi aban we ba ye no onye ayi capital project bia.
Me bisa o man kere wanye. Me bisa.
Oh, palace India bit ma produce less. Ye ba ye juma di asha si ye ni bebe e kwa kodru. Na menu ye ka say at the moment I work for revenue no now we show expenditure side. You can't give what you don't have.
Of course, yeah.
Eti about we shall say no say me for 60 ministers. Menu ka say 56. Eti abandon do twem kuta 123 ministers. Now for 56 sir. Difference of 67 ministers.
We must we call it in.
Eti bi say Minister Bia ya appointed here or Land Cruiser back home. Any saloon car. And a Land Cruiser back in a boy.
Be crowd pick up.
Yes.
Or says argument that the moon shed and you.
My friend, my friend, no matter.
Expenditure cards.
Oh, I've been with economics in the money baby for fra.
No, we are making savings. But what I say,
I want to make catch you
can't give what
I don't know how scratch over to say on this Sami Okusha baby, Sami Okukache and say, Martin ministers, so but more deputies, MDs, any deputies more I be mu status
any presidential staff region be our staff for the sea.
Okay. Staff is also
argument.
Staff is also
see mama bisa na.
When you compare MPP there almost 3,000 staffers now. So you dey low.
MPP dey no say na almost 70 ni nyina wo.
Na nya 70 na secondment almost need sanko fukure. And government will low appetite for borrowing. I buy to horse a CR T-bills and then Monday go check the papers.
What is this?
Rate because sikane dem bank abase that mean you say. Yeah, the check can now mo bo eden mo bo ato ho no. Dey ye roll over any ye. Samo mota mo grab sikane nyina o system no into the private sector no ko nya bi for their businesses. You crowded out the private sector.
No access to credit.
No access to credit. But now we have enough liquidity in the system.
As if you are not part of the system. You are talking as if you are not part of the system.
No access to credit. No kind of credit was there too.
What I said. International communities, banks, what a bank pono say. Let's go back to the international market. We can give you money to do enough project. I must wait. Let me deal with the rot in the system. Let me stabilize the economy before I go to the international market to borrow. We are not in the haste to take certain decisions. I can want to see the northern a general baby. Now, within 4 months, gold board buy ye teaming a reserve now increase by $2.7 billion. See, gold board now, ma. In Quebec, in the time I woke up, say, more just 6 billion reserves or no. My DDEP, we're not paying debt, you're not paying interest and principal.
But is it a fact or not a fact?
You were not paying.
No, did we leave that or not?
So meaning it was artificial. By the end of December, no, now you 6 billion bill.
Well,
now some can want a major time.
Oh my me, Uba ye no so ye I buy a 3 months time. Do my no ye. You were not paying your bills.
Okay.
What I say, a car would you go hono, a bear in a yen, you start a year to year. No wonder, okay. First, Europe on a budget 750 million under President Kufuor. I'm not getting now in a bit here. To the sense, somebody who could year salaries. And more time, the K said the capital project, no year consumption, says school feeding. And now for productivity, I'm
more than ammonia consumption.
That's what they're doing now.
School fees are more to
you can't public financial management act now. You can't buy resources from capital expenditure to goods and services.
No,
but we can take it. You can take it from goods and services.
Stress, no, I won't more. Where's the money?
You should have a budget. You have a budget.
You don't have it.
Oh, check the budget.
Budget. Come on, no.
You have a budget
for budget. But I know so much. No,
you have to allocate money for goods and services. Allocate another money for capital expenditure. Now, what they question capital expenditure. No, most of the consumption.
Okay, nti omo atro se o satika we die
ye de ko
juma na so wi ase no na afi omo de akotuatua aka edi wo
omo ka cho se cathedral de ye for man sika anye e be 58 million ya se so man sika de aka
enya se budget no omo drum ye no omo ani so
ya e be be du be be
by media you see
come out say omo mpentem na ne wu kan mu so be bisa mu so be drum budget na so be du amu be mane free budget no na mu ye bibi fofo
in sema ye
kike doesn't do it
problems MPP creating here no we are so mindful of it.
Okay.
You see dear ananse dear wo no intekuma kwatana se entonku.
Okay.
There are 2 MPP a omo free 169 eba 137 and number 88 no yes you ba beton me bia beto ya
election ya na hamo de munye juma mu juma election
no there must be a true reflection on the lives of the people. There must be a physical manifestation. NDC say ye be A B C D by the end of the term no will be judged by that.
Okay.
Ghana for money da hopa
all right
and yet they can no mo show omo pe adansidie.
Okay.
Who the Women's Bank about what media ba?
Okay.
But what I say?
And you say what media ba keke what media ba
e
boy na kana wo dey ba no e be ti say wunua ne de na wo dey ye campaign
ya say nanka MPP ta meka omo di free 120 billion eko almost 700 billion no e na kamanfo enye enwuma ye ya kwan ye enye nso no nobody will complain.
Thank you.
Sabusan de input juma now the busan be ye kenke party Oji bosia de betu amena in the name of cathedral. Oji bosia na ye hu Adeport ya odi sika na ye. Apese say someone say mam.
Me that say honorable Rachel the champion ye MP Bia East. Nana ya upon Fachemi. Nana ya upon a special aid to Chief Alan Chemantin. Kamaldeen Abdullah, Deputy National Communications Director, the Emma MPP. Kamal me that say papa. Oman for FDA decrata banti kweku amemo mamanie na yenko. FDA say anonom die be a friend King's Orange flavored liqueur and a Jupiter 1990. Enye some obenum unsafe for consumption. The into omo kan say saying enye registered and afen so omo hu say cannabis ane ye kan ho asem no. We marijuana ebi ewom na adwumaku from say from the catering services wa santimantemu na omo edi abedwa so 2023 the FDA say omo ma omo 2022 omo ma omo krata say ya register mo omo na so omo ko omo regular routine checks no ena omo akohu say omo drinks King's Orange flavored liqueur any Jupiter 1990 ana Jupiter 1990 no eno de enye de enti FDA din krata ma omo no omo ye we no omo dia from ne de tete sa no enti ebre yi omo age omo license no every omo ensem mame na Azel Voga say e water de kama Azel le de share me na me nkamfo ne emma se obetumi akopama de obetumi so agentete ye obefre no 0244155266 0244155266 na obetiesie wuti ho aye Nails and Beauty aka the Hem Mama or Spinkters Kotobabi ono so obefre na 0553837 yeda se pa se woni yetenaye nyame nhira no nhira wonsa no adwuma ukodu fie anwumen so akai na fa na sedama no unuaba ma me yakona mani monitia ade na wisi.
Ghana de shema munye na achi bi mama kwa ba UTV yesu ne ebra so se de roka se bwa no pade no ye de ebesom wo mosomfo Sadat Mohammed nie yembo enwura ensem no mu na wotwetwa mu na Ghana mampanyin owura John Dramani Mahama kokopie mu ewo dodowa eni chine ya abusuo abusuama ekokodi ehia na mampanyin ka sem no na wo chirim senkra kompuni mantam mu aboa peso popa ene ka kwa enyiyi ka manso enyiyi jese de bia na traffic no ano den eni amanfo so krope ba bi do nti ato no akwa ye tawe papa pa esanse nipa na doso ewo nkra kompuni mantam mu endi mpenifo odwene ho so bechichiri kuro fufure ben kan na tumi aboa ma aban dwuma ekododo na no ye yi edi afirin kan na ye de akoho na eno so no gidi se beboa ma traffic ade bia na chese aboa peso nipa kwa enko nipa ba yamba no ano etumi abrase ewo mantam mu na mampanyini chirim se ba bia mpenifo adwene ho na wo hwe so bechichiri kuro fufure yi ba bia fe no bondase ewo enkran apoye mantam ena frau mantamu emfimfin sa na kuru na betretra kwa akobɔ frau ensutene no ano na mampanyini chirim se ogidi se we no mo ye beboa papa ama nkran biribia na chese nipa boa peso no eno no atimi ye firi ho no mo ama chese dukom sane ye abre Ghana fo mampanyini chirim se omo chichiri sa kure wi a keteke kwan eno mo de beto ene enkrantam na eno so no atimi abo ma kwana badie atumi afa ne ntoma pa ade afira dodo wa ho no mo ano mampanyini sa kase biem de tudwa se na ne so de hunu kese ye pa ne sa hunidi be fa ne ntoma pa ade afira ewo nkran kompuni mantam nto ne na musifo mo nsena hudo mu nyina no beto kese na wode nhyehyɛ pa agu apono so ahunidi ne titiru ne enkran mantam mu no ebetumi afa ne ntoma pa ade afira o mampanyini sa kase biem chiri mu se wabe obehwe hunu sa kwan ne akwantempo ahodo wo nkran na dodo na anye no wode wo se be ye oyo se na wo hye na fobo no na waye nyina na abo na akona badi atumi afa ne ntoma pa edi efira obampanyi tirim sa denta dodo wa kwan la techi kwan no tema habo kwantempo no Apollonia wo yibi kwan tema motorway no ekwan no ene wonam so enhyeda nya nika asai pa wo se wabe obehwe hunu so obeye nsisi wo sa kwan mabbo so nyina na atumi abo ma akona badi afa ne ntoma pa edi efira obampanyi tirim sa kwan bi so esefata se ye hu adwuma na so so ne no no efimre ya mpontembre so mre santini bisi ne yenye ye no eno so no obehwe hunu se obeye ansa na ne bre aso wasi do wenya eni afie nya kwan no behwe na waye achama madina kwantempon no afeso Liberation Road Polo Court ewa Christ the King corridor no Ring Road la General Hospital kwan ne da hunu nyina no wasi nyina no wabe obehwe na waye matumi aboa makwana bede wonkana kompuni mantemu no afa ne ntoma pa ede afira Ghana mampanyin owura John Dramani Mahama de sansem na todwa wa bra na wotwetwa mu okokopie mu ewo dodowa woni chine amanyukoma ekokodi ehia ene wotu na numutuo ede saa ensemu nyina no etudwa na wotwetwa mu dwumadie bi eba so Cambridge African Business Conference na yenkane panyina otu franka edema wo sonamanyuko NPP Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bomi akokasa wase o mampanyini abedi chirika sem no na wo chirim se abibrem anase bibifo se bimpredus nyakopon adom ya adwen wadom ye nyansa papa na se ye nsa sa adwen de number 1 nanso ligiri bam fameko sika no na akwakwa bibia ho no mo emfidi dwuma na se emfidi ebetimi abo ye nimdie na nka abo na mpuntudwuma so fa ne tuma pa die fra no ade no so ye di hu papa na eno ni ade a hayen se abibifo na emom se ye nsa sa adwen kwampo ye befa so na se nke ye to adwen ye betimi abo sika no ye beboa menya adwuma nye ye di sunkunim ye beboa na mfidi dwuma fa ne tuma pa die fra na mabu na di ye die ene ye ade wo ho se na emom se ni akoti bayira hu momu sika ye ni bienti abiribia na chese ye wonhwehwede ya adwendwen ya asasa adwen awie no sika bebo ye chidom na nkasa de na tima bamu no na akwakwan de amaye enti opanyini tirem se before de ebraso se ye timi nyini efiri de bia kasakasa na ye ko conference na ye kasa na ye to adwen ye wi na ye atwe nyina gukrata bi otumu bam na ye pia hye baabi na obi na mabi ope o se braso se ye timi nyini firi sa de no ho na ye pesika na ye pekwan ye befa so ye nse betimi afa abefo kwan so na ye to adwen na se ya asasa adwen awie no ye betimi de abo achidom na etimi awie peyo e de ama bibifo opanyina nkane otu franka edema NPP amanyuko no Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bomi a ene odi sansem na tudwa wo Cambridge African Conference a eba so ewa monone ase penya wo hwe akiri say Fair Wages and Salaries Commission Dr. George Smith Graham na opanyini wakasa de nsusuye bi atompenifo anim say Ghana na ye wo no ebraso say yesesa nema bebremu ene ebere bi a ene oyi adwuma busumi mu a ansa na yetua waka no wo se braso say yesesa saa de no ene okọ adwuma ya hwe don hwe dodo odi wo adwuma no mu na yakeka bom na ye de atua waka enti saa no mpinifo bɛdwe no ho sɛ woyɛ adwuma ɔman gane mu adɔnhwere bia no ebi ataku sempo akapre ɛne yɛtua de ama wo ba adwuma efira no pakosi anwumre dɔnhwere sɛn na odiye ne ahwɛ so ne yɛde ama wo sika na sɛ de etua ɔka wɔgyidi sɛ no no ɛbɛboa papa kyɛ bosome kwan yɛfa so a yɛtua ka wɔ ɔman gane mu no wɔ sɛ wokwa nkra adwuma ɛkɔ ahoduo mu a ɛne adwumayɛfo wɔ brɛ papa nipa bɛyɛ adwuma fira homaakye ekosi na dweda so mu bosome kɔhwɛ na katua kyɛ sɛ wode yɛhwɛ nye yie na nso adwuma ni baabi opanyini na wɔkyerɛ mu sɛ ne ane yesu aso adwe kwampo bɛfa so na wɔ man ne bɛfa ne ntoma padie fira constitution kura mpo ne yɛ nsesa wɔ mu no wɔn so de sɛ susu etu mpenifo nim sɛ mpenifo fa nkɔ adwendwen mu na wɔgye de sɛ betumi aboa ama kyɛ sɛ nneɛma ani adane kwan yɛfa so ne yɛma nkɔfo adwuma kwan yɛfa so ne etua nkɔfo ka no wɔgye de sɛ sɛnke yɛ de brɛ anasɛ dɔnhwere nipa no wɔdi awɔ adwuma kuro mu ne etua ne ka na ka bɛboa ama kyɛ sɛ benya adwuma nyɛ no kura no yɛtumi ate so ɛne asemesi wɔkɔ adwuma mu a dɔnhwere num yɛtua ne ka no wɔkɔ obi nso aba no aba bɛtoa so wɔgye de sɛ nka bɛboa papa akyɛ kwan yɛfa so ne etua ka busumi wɔsade nsusua foforo saa tomu sɛ ne obi yɛ adwuma no wɔkɔ na homedie mu a 60 years na wɔkɔ pension ne so nka yɛntum na yɛmfa mfinhyia no mu ka ho 65 na atumi aboa yɛsɛ mpanifo bi hɔ no wɔ mfie ɛkɔ anim no saa brɛ na sɛ bimpie sa nyansa no na emu dɔ kɛse paa enti sɛ nipa no brɛ ne nyansa na asɛ na adwe mu ne mu adɔ no na saa brɛ no wɔkɔ na homedie mu a wɔde adwene nyina ɛkɔ akɔtena fie enti saa fo ne yɛmfa mfinhyia no bi nka wɔn ho na wɔnkɔ so ntena nnwuma mu na wɔnim die ne wɔn nsuo ho na wɔnya no wɔn fam wɔn na nnwuma ho nsɛm ɛmfa ne ntoma paa ɛmfa ɛmfira penyina wɔhwɛ kyɛ sɛ penyin kwankyerɛfoɔ Wages and Salaries Commission owura George Smith Graham ɛna nsɛm yi wɔde etudwa na wotwetwe mu awie ye ɛna kopie mu okutuka wiemsin gina bia empinfo ɛyɛ adom krachi bia ofiri UK abrichime mu ɛne ntampe ahaban nyansanyansan bi nea osusu sɛ ɛyɛ wi bi ɛne dodoɔ no a ɛna kyɛ sɛ ekuta no okutuka wiemsin gina bia ɛne yɛso ne pechi aso sɛ wɔde kɔ anaso wɔde ba ɛno de nya da amanebɔ no ɛhyɛ da ɛkyire mu na Ghana fo mmienu bi nso yɛakye wɔn ɛde aka UK di hye ho na baako de wɔyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ kutuka wiemhyɛ gyina bia hɔ no mo sɛ customs officer ɛna baako nso yɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ no mu a sɛ wotu kwan anasɛ wo ba wɔ nneɛma no dɔɔso wɔn bɛboa wo na wɔn de afiri hɔ ana mpɔ wɔn de aba no sɛ adwuma wɔn nso wɔyɛ no sɛ nipa mmienu yi ɛna mpanyinfoɔ kyerɛm sɛ wɔn bo a UK ne di hye yi na haba nyansanyansa wi wɔde aba bɛfa kutuka wiemhyɛ gyina bia na mpanyinfoɔ kyerɛm sɛ yɛakyekyere ne boa baako aduokunu mienu 92 slabs na kyɛ sɛ ɛdɔs papa enti abera mpanifo hu yɛ no mo sɛ edie be nie na ogina hɔ no manya de a wɔkasa na mo hwɛ sɛ na haban na ni siti a no mususu sɛ ɛbɛyɛ haban nyansanyansan wi bi ɛna kyɛ sɛ ɔbɔde fa mfidie mu fidie hwehwɛ mu no mu saa ɛne yampa ɛyɛ wi bi ɛna kyɛ sɛ krachi yɛ so ne pɛti ɛtoto na no na kyɛ sɛ Ghana fo mienu a medi kan ɛkyerɛkyerɛ ɔmase o adwuma ɔmo yɛ okutuka wiemhyɛ gyina bia hɔ yi ɔmo ɛna ɛboa no ɛna kyɛ sɛ kɔkɔkye ɔmo nyinaa yɛ dɔm akɔkɔpie mu ɛwɔ asɛmde bia nti ɛntampe na kyɛ sɛ bɛyɛ 92 slabs no ebuduo no kabo ma bɛyɛ 53.6 kilograms na kyɛ sɛ ɛdɔs papa eti mpenifo so safo yi pɛti a yɛdɔ ɔmo kwakɔ gyina mbranim na yɛyɛ ɔmo nsɛm hwehwɛ mu adekodie nti antampe wi wɔde kwakɔfa kutuka wiemhyɛ gyina bia bi onya ayɛ nso no wakyerɛ na mpenifo timi ne hyehyɛ pa agu apono so ebetimi ahwɛ na saa deɛ no yɛsi ano kwan ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu na wotwetwe mu awie ye ɛna police adwumayɛkuo no friends ntwerɛfo enhyia mu na amanebo de to Ghana fo nyina anim sɛ bɛyɛ bere atwa mu oni ɛne krachi bi wagye ne din wɔ Ghana papa na ɔnya Ghana ni ɔyɛ Togo ni de hye na ne din a epie monten so ne Adinda Abdomajibo na wokyerem sɛ wobepie mu ɛwɔ nkran kompuni mantam mu baako baabi ɛte sɛ East Legon Agirengano Tesano Cantonment Rage Airport Residential Area ɛne wɔ bɔkro no wɔ papa no hɔ hanso so ɛne mote ne nka kwam na wodwane wobɛhwehwɛ ne baabi a nya de amuhu no 2019 na krachi hyɛ so wɔ bɔkro no wɔ Ghana polisifoɔ nim na nim CCTV camera kye no several occasions now so sɛ bɛyɛ ne yɛbɛkye no na akwakoyɛ den sɛ na wɔbɔkro no ne wie a na wakwakohyɛ Togo na wakwakodi ne sike nyina ne ho wie a na wasaba bɛyɛ operation ni biem ɛno sɛ yɛkye wɔ foforo bi ɛwɔ Ghana ha no wɔ ka sɛ baabi a polisifoɔ mu bisa me ho asɛm agenga no silogo no me nye operation hɔ na emom nipa yɛ operation hɔ no ɛna obo ne din sɛ yɛfrɛ no Adinda Abdomajibo no ɛna ɔmo so wɔwen ɛna krache ne ma tip off sɛ wɔno no yɛ operation na sika ba no ho a na wakohyɛ Togo enti polisifoɔ ho yɛ ha ɛna wɔfrɛ wɔn nua no mo wɔ Togo sɛ asimesi yɛhwehwɛ no ɛna polisifoɔ sɛ yɛkora yɛakye obi wɔ Togo nti mo bra na mo hwehwɛ ɔmo kɔ yɛ ampani nua ne yampa Adinda yi ɛna wɔtwiri mu yi ɛna kyɛ sɛ polisifoɔ agye no a wɔde no aba bepie Ghana mo yɛ ba bɛhwɛ na yɛde Ghana mamara awe no wɔ ɛsanse aman yɛ wɔ bibire mato yɛ wɔn hyehyɛ bi sɛ obi firi ne kurom no kɔdi nsɛmɔne wɔ man bi so na yɛkye no a yɛtimi de saa wɔ man no kɔdi nsɛmɔne wɔ so no emu mra awe no enti krachi yi sɛ wɔyɛ Togoni na sans Ghana na ɔdi nsɛmɔne dodoɔ na no yɛbɛfa saa mamara yi so na yɛde na aba bepie mu ɛwɔ man Ghana mo ne yɛde Ghana mamara atumi awe no na ɛnyɛ wɔn nko afoforo nso beye edumienu na edumiensa bi ene ya che omu nyina e dia kan ho ye ba behwe na yetumi e de omu agina mmara no na mmara no omu adi se ne yese na efata opanyini a wogina police adwumayeko no mu edimu ene ensemi ebesom ye no kire mu se krachi kurompo na ya che no na adindai je se ne din do so pa ene ba bia obeko bia no ukutani mfonyini na so ne din foforo ene yebo wo se no kurompo ka ho bi ene ma police for bre ya bisi ne afi ne yetima chini wo se ebi friend Rashid Bawa ebi friend Maxwell ebi friend Papa Rich ebi friend Dawa ebi mpo friend police enso ye togo niu ene wo ma gane mu ene ache se atete Ghana fo a ene ekro no bo bia no krachi wo ka ho na so ye de no wakoche no we sanse se wonti wo mai mu ene se afi de nyankopon yi ne so krata yetima kwakoso ne pechi e wo togo mo ye de no aba begina mra no a chese we no aya asem de papa e de ama police adwumako no ene o ma gane nyina awie ye begina we so na no ndumpa mu de rekase bon ye die si premoto a kase bo besen aba mo somfo Sadat Muhammad ni mamomo ene hwa enya ado